Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for being here with us and of course excited to share wonderful stories, and we're back with yet another one. Thank you so much for joining in, and please let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you, ready to enjoy this wonderful story. And of course, if you're alone, you're still welcome. You're part of this wonderful community. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that your summer is going well, and if you're on summer break like me, I hope that your summer break is off to a flyer. And of course, I hope that you're enjoying everything that you've done so far, all the adventures that have been done and are yet to come. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. We'll bring back a good one to Story Time. This one hasn't been back in a while, but it is here today, and it is written by LAURIN, MAYENO, and of course illustrated by our good friend here, Robert LIU-TRUJILLO. And this one is translated into Spanish. It is a bilingual book by Teresa Mlawer, and I'm excited to share this one. It's called One of a Kind. Yes, one of a kind like me. So join in for this one. Get comfortable, get cozy, get ready for this beautiful book coming right up. And this one is published by Blood Orange Press. Thank you so much for joining us today. And welcome. Yes, lots to come on Story Time. As you see, too, that we do have a lot that is lined up for you. We've already done Bathe the Cat. And today we have One of a Kind like me. And then tomorrow we'll bring you They Call Me Mix. And then on Thursday with our special guest, we bring you the chicken with pink toes coming right up. And then, of course, on Friday, we'll be joined by two other guests. And Jerome Pumphrey and Monica Wesolowska will be here with their book, not so brand new, with their book, Albert in the Air. So join us for that one and find out what it's all about. So definitely lots to look forward to this week. Amazing books coming your way. I am excited for them, and I hope that you are too. Thank you so much for joining in. Let us see this morning who is with us. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us on Story Time. Good morning to you. How are you doing today, Ari? Thank you so much for joining us out there in Kentucky. Thank you for being here. And of course, good morning to you, Megan, as well. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Good to see you here with us. And I hope that you're ready for this wonderful book that we have here today. Thank you so much for being here. And good morning to you. How are you doing, Sarah? And of course, Nathan out there in the balmy Illinois today. Well, thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Absolutely love it. And maybe not your part of town, but a lot of people have been at American Library Association's annual conference. Just amazing stuff happening. And so a lot of people have been posting pictures of, Chicago and everything that they've been doing there. I think it ends today, actually, the 27th. So yeah, I've gotten to see a few more pictures of Illinois for sure. Thank you so much for joining in one more time, Sarah and Nathan, and of course, Amanda West. Thank you so much for joining us on Story Time today. Good to see you. Ah, yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Megan, and of course, Jake. We are looking forward to when you come as well. So thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Glad you're here, Ari. Of course, thank you for being here with us on Story Time. Good morning to you, Erin and Clara out there in cloudy Massachusetts. Thank you so much for joining in, and of course, good morning to you as well, Tara. Thank you for being here with us on Story Time. Are you sure you're in Massachusetts? Because it sounds like Oakland right now. It is cloudy here. It has been cold. I think even the highest today, well, we're looking at about 67, but I don't think it even gets to that. So yeah, it's been a little bit chilly out here. Very cold actually right now. Fog is out. And so yeah, if you're in the Bay, be sure to carry that sweater with you as you head out the door early morning. It might warm up later in the day, but definitely cool right now. Thank you so much for joining us on Story Time. Please get comfortable, get cozy. We do have a wonderful book to read together. One of a kind, like me. And it is a bilingual book. So if you're Spanish or you're trying to practice your Spanish, this might be the one for you. So find it at your local library, or indeed find it where you find books. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Excited to be here with you. Get cozy, get comfortable, get ready. We'll be right back after this short break for a story for today. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time.
We're your kitchen tenders, and you're listening to Story Time with Mr. Lamata. One more time. Your kitchen tenders, and you're listening to Story Time with Mr. Lamata. Yay, Mr. Lamata! Yay, you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Davis. I am a children's book author, illustrator, and high school art educator. I am the author of 30,000 Stitches, the inspiring story of the National 9/11 flag, illustrated by Sally Warren Comport and published with Worthy Kids # book group. One thing that drew me to writing 30,000 Stitches was the idea that people from all different communities came out to stitch this flag and make it whole again. So I hope that when people read 30,000 Stitches, they remember the power of sharing our stories. When people came out to stitch the flag, they shared their stories, whether about loss or pain or love. We all have stories to tell, and by sharing our stories and listening to one another's stories, we can create a better understanding of each other and create a sense of connection and unity. And this is what creates a more inclusive world. I hope you enjoy your story time with Mr. Lamata. Bye, everybody.
Welcome back. Thank you indeed, Amanda. And of course, Kit and Tenders. But of course, we're here to share each other's stories, to share understanding of each other's stories, and to keep learning from each other. So thank you indeed for those powerful messages this morning. And yes, here we go with our story for today. A beautiful one indeed. And this one is called One of a Kind Like Me. It is written by LAURIN Mayeno, illustrations by Robert Trujillo, and this one is translated by Teresa Mlawer. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, it is a bilingual book, English and Spanish, and here we go with this adventure. One of a Kind Like Me. Written by LAURIN Mayeno. Illustrations by Robert LIU-TRUJILLO, and translation by Teresa Mlawer. And we're reading this one with permission, of course, of the publishers, Blood Orange Press, and a big thank you to Robert LIU-TRUJILLO for the connection. Here we go. Oh my, said Mommy. Tomorrow is the school parade and you still don't have a costume. Oh, time is moving fast. Danny drew wavy lines with his purple marker. I know what I'm going to be, he said. Cousin Carmelita watched him licking gooey banana from her fingers. Ah, what's your favorite morning snack? Are you licking off gooey banana from your fingers? Maybe not quite like cousin Carmelita here, right? Good morning to you, Soraya. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today? Aw. Said Grandpa. A wizard with long purple robes. Danny colored between the lines. Nope. I know, said Mommy. A flying acrobat with purple tights. Danny drew faster and the purple wavy waves danced to life. Nope, said Danny again. Well, don't keep us guessing, said Grandpa. Danny smiled. He picked up his silver pencil and added one last touch. I am going to be a princess just like her. Everyone stopped what they were doing and looked at Danny's princess. She wore a purple dress with round puffy sleeves and ruffles all the way down to her toes. Her crown was shiny silver. Ah. Oh, doesn't that look pretty? Oh, Princessa, cooed Carmelita. Are you sure that's what you want? Asked Mommy. Yes, I am sure. Okay, let's go find your princess dress. Carmelita clapped her sticky hands. Grandpa winked. Try Nifty Thrifty. They have everything. Danny folded his picture and stuffed it into his pocket. Oh, good luck out there, Danny. Yes. Oh, I love it, Ari. Yes, indeed. Oh, I love that. I love that. Love books, indeed. Danny folded his picture and stuffed it into his pocket. Off they went. When they walked into the store, their eyes popped wide open. The place looks like a giant closet exploded, said Danny. Mommy stood and stared. How will we find anything in all this? Danny took her hand. Look for purple. I know we'll find it. Aw. Good luck. Oh my goodness. Look at all those clothes. Oh. In the first aisle, Danny spotted a bin with hats, masks, and animal ears. He dug through the bin and uncovered a sparkly silver crown. It fit him just right. Yippee! He said. Now for the dress. Oh. In aisle 2, Danny looked from side to side, up and down, but there was no purple princess dress. In aisle 3, a twinkle of purple shone from behind the belts. One slithered a shiny purple necktie. I know we'll find my dress soon, said Danny. They searched 2 more aisles, and still there was no purple princess dress. Where could it be? Where could it be indeed? Found a few pieces. Now, let's keep looking. What do you think? Do you think Daniel will find a dress? In aisle 6, a flash of purple picked out from a swirl of colors on a rack overhead. Could this be his dress? Danny reached up and pulled. Clothes fell raining all around him. A purple robe landed on his head. A wizard could wear this, said Danny, but not a princess. Oh, keep searching. In aisle 7, Danny saw a big purple blob bulging from a shelf. Could this be his dress? Standing on his tippy toes, Danny stretched as far as he could, but the blob was just out of reach. He jumped as high as he could and barely hooked it with his fingertips. The purple thing fell, opening up a sea of ruffles. Danny's mouth drooped open, but it wasn't the prince's dress. What is it? He asked. It must be a shower curtain, said Mommy. Danny stared at the ruffles. His shoulders drooped. I was sure this was my dress, he said. Mommy stuffed the curtain back onto the shelf. Let's keep looking. Oh, so close. Let's keep looking, Mommy said. When they got to the last aisle, they still hadn't found Danny's dress. A speck of purple glimmered from the bottom of a huge mountain of odds and ends. Could this be his dress? Danny gave a tug, and something purple and shimmery appeared. He yanked some more, and out it came. But it's leggings, said Danny. I'm sorry, mijo. There's nowhere else to look. Danny clenched his fists. But my dress is here. I just know it. A crackling sound came from above, and then a tiny voice. The store is closing in 5 minutes. Uh-oh. Please bring your purchases to the register. Danny's chin drooped down to his chest. Oh, well, I guess I will be a flying acrobat. He left the crown on a nearby table and trudged toward the checkout counter with the leggings. Aww. Sorry you couldn't find the dress, Danny. Maybe next time. Mommy handed the leggings to the cashier. Danny sighed. He put out his picture and looked at his princess. The purple ruffles reminded him of something. What was it? Wait, he said. My dress is here. Danny stuffed the princess picture back in his pocket and raced over to aisle 7. He leaped for the shower curtain and caught it as it fell. Look, here's the bottom half, he said, wrapping it around his waist. Mommy caught up with him. Why didn't I think of that? Will you help me make it? Asked Danny. Of course I will. Mommy trailed behind Danny as he ran to get his crown. Oh. Have you ever had to make a last-minute costume for something? They hurried to aisle 6, and Danny nabbed the purple robe. We can use this for the top half, he said. Brilliant, said Mommy. They rushed to aisle 3 to grab the purple necktie, and then made their way back to the checkout counter. Phew. Oh. Really making use of that 5 minutes, right? When Danny and Mommy got home, they got right to work cutting and sewing. Your dress will be one of a kind, said Mommy. Just like me, said Danny. Just like you. Aww. I can't wait to see this one. Your dress will be one of a kind, just like me. Yes, just like you. At school the next morning, Danny couldn't keep his eyes off the clock. Every time he looked, the hands had only barely moved. Finally, Mrs. Kaloka stood up. Time to get ready for the parade. Danny jumped out of his seat and dashed over to his cubby. He grabbed his backpack and pulled out his big, fluffy, purple princess dress. Whose dress is that? Asked Miss Kaloka. It's mine, said Danny. Mommy helped me make it. Wow, that's fantastic, she said. She helped Danny wriggle into the dress and tied the purple necktie into a ball around his waist. Aw. Aw. What an adventure. Danny pulled out his shiny silver crown and stood up tall while Mrs. Kaloko placed it on his head. Now I am a princess, he said. Yes, you are, said Mrs. Kaloko, adjusting his crown so it sat just right. Thank you, said Danny, with a smile that stretched clear across his face. Oh, oh, doesn't that look wonderful? Yes. Oh. Danny skipped out to find his friends and nearly skipped right into a giant octopus. Hello, Danny, said the octopus, blowing a stream of bubbles. Hi, Christina, said Danny. Natasha landed nearby, spreading her butterfly wings. Carlos waddled over, dressed as a big round pineapple. I've never seen a boy princess before, said the pineapple. Me neither, said the butterfly. Danny crossed his arms, making his sleeves puff out even more. Well, I've never seen a walking pineapple or a talking butterfly. Carlos tried to cross his arms, but his big round pineapple suit got in the way. He frowned. True. Ah, yes, indeed. Good response, Danny. I love that. The octopus blew some bubbles. The butterfly flapped her wings. The princess curtsied. I guess we're all one of a kind, said Danny. The pineapple's frown turned into a smile. That's us, one of a kind. Danny twirled, watching the purple ruffles dance around him. Aw. And that is the end of our story. And we'll come back too. I just want to read to parents, caregivers, and educators when we come back for our break. But thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Absolutely appreciate you. That is indeed one of a kind story, a beautiful story indeed. And this one came to us from LAURIN Mayeno and illustrations by Robert Trujillo, translation by Teresa Mlawer. It is a bilingual book, a Spanish and English. Thank you so much for joining in. And this one is published by Blood Orange Press. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I loved it. Thank you for being here with us. And I'll catch you on the other side of this short break when we're back for more Storytime. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime today.
Hi, my name's Christine Mitchell-Adams. I'm a mama and an artist. And I believe that books are a great way for children to have access to the arts on an everyday basis, which is why I believe that programs like Storytime with Mr. LaMotta are so important.
Welcome back indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And just some background on this story and the powerful message too coming in from LAURIN Mayeno. And let's just read that together. To parents, caregivers, and educators, and of course, to all the kids too that are joining us today. This book is based on a true story. When my son Danny told me he wanted to be a princess for Halloween, I was worried that he would be teased and I would be judged. I suggested another costume, but Danny knew what he wanted. I decided to support him, and we created a beautiful purple princess dress. He wore it happily in the school parade and kept it for years. Although I didn't know it then, I later came to realize that having a child with expansive gender expression was a beautiful gift. When Danny was growing up, we didn't know other families like ours or see ourselves reflected in picture books. To fill this gap, Danny helped me create a story about a child for whom anything was possible, surrounded by a loving multicultural family and community. I hope that one of a kind like me gives children a sense of belonging, courage to be who they are, and an appreciation for people who are different than themselves. Being Danny's mom, I have learned to appreciate children who don't follow expectations based on gender. I also have seen how pressure to fit gender expectations can make life hard for any child. We can help all children feel safe and accepted by allowing them to explore a full range of activities without restricting or criticizing what they do based on gender. We can also make a difference by encouraging children to be respectful and kind to their peers, and by letting them know that teasing and bullying hurt. If you have a child who doesn't follow society's gender norms, rest assured that you are not alone. It is perfectly healthy to explore different ways of expressing gender. If you have concerns and fears, as I did, learn about gender diversity and connecting with other families like yours can give you confidence and peace of mind. And of course, they give a website there, outproudfamilies.com, where you can reach out and find out more resources, and of course just human resources as well there that can help. And when you look at there's the real Danny in their in their purple dress. I hope you can see it in the crowd. That's the actual costume. And then of course there now, Danny then and now, with LAURIN MAYENO, the author of this book. Beautiful story. And I just thought I should share that with you all today. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. May we continue to learn. May we continue to open our minds, and indeed, like the book mentions, like the back of the book mentions, may we continue to support our little ones, and just find those supportive communities as well, so that everybody can keep thriving. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And we continue this week indeed to look at books and celebrate pride, and of course look at books that shine a light on this wonderful community. And of course we want to just to condemn what has been happening, the increasingly visible violence and legislation that is being passed in several states, several localities, municipalities, trying to to ban and all kinds of restrictions, on our neighbors and families. And so please be sure to look through, listen to the news, stay alert, and find out what's happening in your community and see how you can help. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you. One more time, let us see who was with us this morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, good morning. Hello, Jake. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And Megan, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day too. Thank you, Ari. Thank you so much for joining in. Of course, love you back, buddy. Lots of love coming out to you there in Kentucky. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. And of course, good morning one more time. Thank you for joining in, Soraya. And of course, Sharon Lungo. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Appreciations all around. Thank you so much for joining us as well out there in cloudy Massachusetts. I hope that today, those clouds go away soon. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, good morning to you, Tara, as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Sarah and Nathan, thank you so much for being here with us out there in Illinois, a balmy Illinois, we must say today. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, Amanda, thank you for being here with us on Storytime. This has been Storytime for today. And of course, this has been Storytime on this beautiful Tuesday morning. And our book was this amazing one of a kind like me. Yes, one of a kind like you indeed. And this one is written by LAURIN MAYENO, illustrations by Robert LIU-TRUJILLO, and translations done by Teresa Mlawer. Yes, Spanish and English bilingual book. Thank you so much for joining in. And then please, on Thursday, look out. Our author guest will be here, and this one will be Edward Picot will be here joining us all the way out from England. So be ready for this one, and we will be reading The Chicken with Pink Toes. So join us on Thursday and come on out and have fun with us. And then, of course, on Friday, we round off the week with a visit from Jerome Pumphrey and Monica Wesolowska joining us, and we'll be reading and, of course, be in conversation. Albert in the air. Thank you so much for joining in today. Absolutely appreciate you. This has been Story Time. I'll see you again tomorrow when we are back with another exciting book. And this one coming back to Story Time is called They Call Me Mix. It is written by Lourdes Rivas, illustrations by Brianna Nunez, and of course, illustrations for this one by Alicia Ariano. And of course, join us tomorrow and enjoy this one. They Call Me Mix, coming to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here with us on Story Time. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. Sending you lots and lots of hugs and of course, love all the way out wherever you are. Thank you so much from right here in Oakland. This has been Story Time for today. Much love, everybody, and I will see you again tomorrow when we're back for more Story Time. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing Story Time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, Story Time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Well, who look like me, or that's very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.